Hello and thank you for joining me on another episode of The Average EV. Today we're going to be talking about public charging infrastructure at locations like shopping malls. I think this is something really interesting and I think you all are going to like it. Stick around and let's get into it. All right, everybody, so again, we're talking about public charging infrastructure, but this time at places where you're gonna stay 1 to 3 hours or more. I'm gonna put kind of, because I have some thoughts about more than 3 hours, but I'll let you all know about that in a little bit. So what are some spots that you would be at for 1 to 3 hours? Just off the top of my head, I came up with a shopping mall. I know shopping malls are kind of dying a little bit, but in Maryland, there's the Towson Town Center, which is very popular, and I know people spend at least an hour there. Now, obviously, there's some people who are in and out, but there's like restaurants there. There's plenty of shopping. There's a movie theater across the way. So I don't know. I think shopping mall is good. Another one is movie theater, because most movies are at least an hour and a half, if not longer. And another thing that came to mind for me was a restaurant. Most people have at least, it's like an hour meal at a restaurant. I know some people can be a little bit faster, some people a little bit longer, but I thought a restaurant would be another great place to have chargers. So what would be the appropriate charger for one of these locations? My thought for 1 to 3 hours would be a 7.2 to 11.5 kilowatt charger. I think those chargers are more than adequate to charge up a vehicle while you're at that location. For example, with my Kona, if I left it charge on a 7.2, because my onboard charger can only do up to 7.2 kilowatts, I would get 11% added back to my battery per hour, which is awesome. So if I'm there for an hour, 11, if I'm there for 2 hours, 22%, which is really more battery than I use most days. So I think that's just a great option for the AC level 2 charger at a location like a mall or a restaurant or a movie theater or something like that. These level 2 chargers cost way less to install than the DC fast chargers. If you watched my last video, again, I think those really low level DC fast chargers would be good for grocery stores, places where people are only at for a short amount of time. But when you're at a mall and you're gonna be here for an hour or so, I think a slower charger is perfect. And I think that if you could have, 10 AC charger, level 2 AC chargers versus like 2 DC fast chargers, well, I think the AC chargers would be better for a place like this. Now, how many chargers should you have at a location like a mall or a movie theater? My thoughts are, first, it's going to depend on your area and the EV adoption. In a place where there is pretty good EV adoption, I'm thinking, and if it's like a shopping mall where there's a high volume of people, I think 20 to 40 chargers is a good starting place. I think, and with a movie theater as well, I think 20 to 40 is good because there's a high volume of people there at one time. Somewhere like a restaurant, you don't need that many. I would say 5 to 10, maybe 5 to 8. Not a ton, but enough to accommodate the people who are there. Because again, you can't have as many people at a restaurant as you can at a mall or a movie theater. Where I live here in Carroll County, maybe 5 to 8 level 2 chargers is all you would need. I actually drove around the mall and I saw it was like 3 or 4 EVs. And I actually saw some pretty cool EVs today. I took some videos so you can see. I saw a Model X. I saw a Lucid Air, which was super cool. And I've seen that Lucid Air driving around, so it was nice to kind of see it still for a second. And then I saw a nice Mustang Mach-E parked here at the mall. But aside from that, like, I'm the 4th EV and I'm not actually here to go to the mall. I'm just shooting a video. So we definitely don't need that many chargers here, but a bigger place like Towson, they need a good number of chargers. Right now, I feel like they only have like, I've only ever seen 4, but maybe there's more than 4. Maybe they have 10 tops. But I still don't think that's enough with the number of EVs especially in that area. But that's for them to decide, and hopefully they notice that people are using them more, and then they'll increase the number. I think that would probably be a smart idea to see, are they being used, and then increase how many we have. Now, should these chargers cost money? I think they should. It's just like with the DC fast chargers at a grocery store. I think some kind of like free complimentary period, like 15 to 30 minutes would be great. And then charging, I think 17 cents a kilowatt hour is a perfect price. If energy is more expensive where you live, maybe doing a little bit more would probably make sense, enough to cover the cost of energy and plus recoup some of the costs. They're not quite profitable, but at least start to recoup the cost of the chargers themselves. And again, by making them cost money, it's going to limit people just taking advantage of the free charging out there. So again, I would pay to have charging guaranteed when I go to any location. Now, what are some benefits of having this appropriate installation at these locations? Well, I think for this, it's going to allow property owners to put in more to accommodate the higher volume of people, and also not put too much stress on their electricity and grid use. And also, I think it'll better serve the people who are here, because if you had a fast charger at a mall and you're here for an hour and you only need a little bit, you'll probably hit 80 fast, and then you're gonna have to come out and unplug and whatnot. Whereas if you have the slower, it's more likely to not fill you up, but give you enough to kind of recoup what took you to get there, and plus a little extra for the convenience of not having to go to a gas station. You can shop while you're charging, which is incredible. So everybody, these are my thoughts about these longer term parking spots. This was a little bit shorter of a video, but hopefully that's all I really needed for this topic. There are gonna be 2 more videos in this little series, but you know, you're gonna have to wait for those. That's gonna be about highways and then communities, what kind of charging should be there. So again, I hope you found this video helpful. Please give me a like and a subscribe. It really does help me out so I can bring you all more content. Aside from that, I hope you'll have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you next time.